We all know how important AI has become in our lives today. It not only boosts the creativity and productivity, but also it saves us a lot of time, which I think is the most important thing about it. As architects, BIM experts, and Revit users, we can greatly benefit from this technology. AI can be used in concept stage to generate multiple ideas. It can be used in time management, in rendering, and in various aspects of our work. There are multiple platforms, plugins, and websites offering tools to make time-consuming and complex processes smoother and more efficient. One of them that stands out is PromeAI. I have tried multiple platforms for various purposes, and I'm sure you have too, but this one is specifically designed and tailored for architecture, or at least it has a lot of advanced architectural tools that I haven't seen anywhere else. Honestly, the quality is also unmatched. Let's head to their website to check some of these amazing features. You can just follow the link in the description to dive right in. So this is PromeAI, and as you can see, there are a lot of different things that you can do with this platform. It has a very simple and straightforward user interface. To log in, you just need to go to top right corner in this part and use your Google account. Just enter your email address and sign up. When you are in your dashboard, you can access to all of the tools in this part, AI tools, or you can just simply go to left section in this part, AI tools, and in here you can see all of the sections. You have image generation, image editing, video workflow, architecture section, e-commerce, game anime, avatar, design material, and at the end, branding and marketing. Let's scroll up to check this first option, sketch rendering. With this tool, we can turn our sketches, the drawing, drafts, 3D models, anything into realistic and high quality renders or photos. This option is specifically very helpful for us who use Revit as our main software. If you go to Revit, there is this hidden line option in this part where you can use for all of your project for anything you have in Revit and export the image, and without changing any material or color or anything, turn it into realistic renders. It's not important for us who are working on BIM industry to create renders. It is another section, okay? But this way, if you have to do that and if you don't want to use rendering engines like this Inkscape, you can use this option to turn your 3D views into realistic photos. Sometimes we need to do this, and this is the fastest and easiest ways that we can use. We're going to turn this into a high quality and realistic render. Okay, so let's go back to the platform, and in this part, in image section, we are going to upload our photo, the sketch, the draft, anything you have. First, we are going to click on this part. In here, we can just simply upload an image. Going to click in here and let's choose the image we exported. I'm going to go with this option because it has the sun and it gives somehow depth to my image, and it is easier for AI to create something based on that. It understands the depth, the 3D much better. So I'm going to select this option. And after a few seconds analyzing your image, you can see it in this part. The very good option in this section is that if your image is above some limits for its size, it reduces the quality itself. You don't need to take it into another platform or to Photoshop and reduce its size and then load it again. This is a very helpful tool that I personally really like that. After this, in the prompt section, you know that you can write whatever you want to turn your image into that thing. For example, if you want to have a modern style, if you want to have a very special material, if you want to have environment, if you want to have a special type of furniture, these things. For example, in here, let's write a modern villa in, for example, Switzerland, and use 3 materials with pool and coffee table. Okay, something like this. After you are done writing and describing what you want, you can use this option to enhance the prompt. It is a little dramatic and it makes your text a bit romantic, which is unnecessary, but it is very helpful if you have perfect spelling like me, or if English is not your first language. You can use this option, but just use some of the words because I'm going to copy my text in here. As you can see, it turned it into a very long story like this, and sometimes it is very helpful, but it is unnecessary. So I'm going to delete that and paste what I have write before. After this, we have these options. In model section, we have 3 different models. For example, V1 will give you the fastest render, but the quality is low. V2 will give you different styles, different types of styles. And V3 will give you a better relation between what you have right in this part and what you want to see on your render, okay? Between all of these, I think V2 is the best for now. And if you select any of these options, you will have different settings in these parts. For example, if I select V1, I won't have some of these options. For example, the scene. Okay, if I select V3, I won't have any reference section. Okay, I'm going to go with V2. You will have this reference image section. This part is for the times that what you want to have is hard to explain. For example, when you want to just have a live of some image, but for your render, okay, something like this. In this case, you can use this reference image. After that, we have this style section. If you open this part, you can see some portraits in here, photography, and also you can check these categories, but since none of these are related to architecture, I usually prefer to don't use this option. Okay, after that we have this scene, which is exactly what we want to use. In here we can see this architecture category, and in this part we have 3 different sections. For building type, since my project is more like a villa, I'm going to choose this option. After that, in the building style section, you can see variety of types, variety of styles. For example, we have this elemental architecture, we have Bauhaus, we have postmodern, then we have this organic transparency, we have Zen minimalist. There are a lot of different styles. We have American style, which is this part, masterpiece. Be different styles that we know most of them. For example, this villa is very familiar, right? We have futurism with curved shapes. This part is also very helpful when you are working on mass environment. You can import a mass sketch to this part and use one of these options. Okay, we have traditional, European traditional, and Japanese traditional, all of these things. After this part, we have the environment section too. And in here, you can choose between night, day, autumn, rain, snow, fog, and dusk. What you select in these parts in building type, building style, and environment directly affects on your render, affects on the final result. Okay, I'm going to use this dusk, and for building style, I'm going to choose something maybe like this one. Try to choose just one building style, one environment, or just one of each one of these categories, because if you mix some of these together, the result, your final render won't look good. Okay, after this part we have the mood section. What you select in this part is also very important. We have different moods, a structure, outline, depths, concept, these things, and based on each one of these, it will give you a different result. For example, if you select this outline, you will have most of the lines, most of the like forms, elements on your render, and you will have a little bit creativity. Okay, you can also change the creativity in this part too. If you want to have more imagination, you can increase that option, or you can choose this concept or the part, the mood that add a lot of imagination to your render. Okay, I'm going to choose this outline because I don't want my project to change. Okay, And then, as I explained, you can increase the creativity if you want. And in advanced section, we have this negative prompt. If you don't want to see some things, you can add it in this part. For example, if you don't want to have any personage on your render, you can add it in here. I'm going to add people. Okay, if you don't want to see any animal, for example any birds, you can use it in here. If you don't want to have, for example, these bushes, you can add it in this part. This is the negative prompt. I'm going to also add birds. Okay, after this we have this artistry, which is something similar to creativity. If you want to increase it, you can go with any number you want. Then we have this perspective and lighting section. These two parts again are not for the architecture. As you can see, we have people in here, but if you scroll down, you can see some of the views: top view, aerial view, bird's eye view, and the drone view. For sometimes this is very good, but we cannot use it all the time. Okay, also for the lighting section. After this, we have this detailed section. If you look at this part, you can see the difference. For example, if you keep it checked, you will have inside of your project full with furniture or with anything you want. This option, this detailed section, is only active for the standard or above packages. Okay, after this we have this fast mode, which honestly I don't think there is any difference if you keep it checked or unchecked. It will just use your coins, so I suggest just keep it off. And at the end, you can choose between the number of images from 1 to 3. If you are in rush, you can go with just 1. And if you want to see different types of your render, you can go with number 2. I'm going to click on this generate to see what we have created. Interesting. Let's check this first one. In here, I think we have this pool. We have this mountain back there, and I think it is using the shape of the tree we had in here. I'm going to click on this slider. As you can see, yes, it is turning the tree into the mountain, which is wrong, but I think it is interesting. And if you look at this part, the trees that we have in here is very realistic. If you have worked on CG section, if you have worked on rendering, you know that rendering trees will take a lot of time, and I really appreciate this option. Inside is also looking good, and this grass in this part, yes, it is acceptable, and the lighting in here also looks good. The next option, yes, it looks the same. We don't have the pool in this part, we have this tree in here, and the environment is somehow the same. And the last option, okay, we have the swimming pool down here, and I personally like the background, the environment much better. This is looking much better than the other options, but this part is a problem. Not a problem, we can again fix it. We can re-render it, or we can like change its material, anything. There is no limits in here. We can fix that part too. I think it's enough for this one. I'm going to scroll up in here, delete this image. In here you can also see this 3D model. With this option, you can just simply upload the OBJ file, the FBX file, the .3ds file to this part and create AI renders based on what you have. Okay, for example, if you want to export an image of a chair or of your whole project in Revit, you can export it as OBJ file. Let me just show you in here. Go to file. In the export section, you can see this option OBJ. You can just simply export it and upload it in here, which I think again is a very smart and cool option. Let's go to the next tool we have in this part. I'm going to go to this AI tools, and in here we have this consistency rendering. This option will help you to create series of images. With this, you can train the AI to create exactly what you want with the style, with the type that you have set, and you can use it all the time, anytime you want. You can create it yourself, or you can use the options that other people have created. I'm going to click on this model section, And in here you can see some examples. Okay, in this part, for example, you can see modern futuristic architecture. You can use this for like pencil drawing, for this architecture integrated with nature, these things. And exactly like this, you can create the model you want. For example, if you want to create a sketch, okay, if you want to like insert an image, and then based on what you have said before, you want to create everything based on that, like that. Okay, I'm going to click on this create model, and in here we are going to first insert an image. I'm going to click on this part, go to upload an image. In here I want to create a market rendering, okay, something like this or this one. Let me just show you something like this or this one, okay, at day or night. I'm going to, for example, select this one, click on open, and in here, after you have inserted the style, you are going to explain it. You are going to describe what you want. In this part, I'm going to write fully wooden market renders. Then I'm going to add details, highest details. Then I want to have technical forms or elements like the floor, the walls, the things. And after that, I want to have multiple lighting sources. Then I want to have all trees should be white, should be fully white, things like this. Okay, and under this part, in the second section, usage scenarios, we're going to repeat them just to be sure what we have inserted in the prompt section and what we have on the image will apply to our render. Okay, in this part I will add the minimal wooden market. Okay, then we can go with the lighting, night lighting. After that, we can add like white trees, things like this. And you can also add as much as you want in here too. Okay, I'm going to delete these parts and click on this tray. This is amazing. This is even much better than what I thought. Let's look at it. White trees and wooden markets. I really like it. This is the villa and it looks so cute. I love this style. Let me tell you this, that you can again add anything you want as a prompt in here, and also you can change the ratio. I personally prefer to put this on this size, and then if you want you can generate more. Let's go back to AI tool, consistency rendering again. In here I'm going to click on this model section, usage history. We can see it in here. These are the same prompt, not the same but different with the same image that I have created before, and you can see the difference. That's why I am really surprised. As you saw, this is a very cool and interesting feature that you can use to generate series and train the AI to create exactly what you want. If you scroll down in this AI tool section, in the architecture category, we have this exterior renovator and also this interior remodel. These two options are also very helpful. In this image section, I'm going to select my image. In this part, I'm going to select this interior image that I have worked previously. I think you have seen this before. And then we are going to write the prompt. For the prompt, I'm going to write a cozy kitchen. I'm going to write add a window behind sink, and we can go with parquet floor, things like this, maybe light wooden parquet floors. And then in options sections for scene, in here first I'm going to delete these two, and in the interior scene you can choose the type of your room: living room, kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, home office, closet, basement, these things. I'm going to go with kitchen. Then we have scene element. You can add what you want to have on your room. In here you can see the same categories. I'm going to go with kitchen, and what I want to see in here is the island. This is the most important thing for me, and if you want you can choose other things too. I'm going to go with things too. And then interior style, we can choose between different interior styles: Nordic, Japanese, modern, transitional, traditional, rustic, coastal. This one is also very interesting. Bohemian, these things, I really like them. Let's go with this one. And then for the environment, you can choose between night, day, and dusk. Let's go with day this time. And then since I don't want to change the interior design that much, I'm going to check this option to just renovation. Okay, I don't want to like delete some element or change it drastically. Okay, and at the end you can add negative prompts too. For example, in here I don't want to see any people, or if you don't want to see any chair or flowers pots like this one. Okay, I'm going to write, for example, people again, because I don't want to have any personage on my render. And after that, I think the number is okay too, and I'm going to click on this generate. Let's see what we have this time. Okay, it's looking good. Let's check it. In here we have the same thing, the same setting, the lighting in here, the pot in this part, the materials are changed, and ceiling is also looking good. Yes, this is acceptable. This one also looks really cool. The roof is changed, its color is different. We don't have the wooden floor though. We said we want to see something like that, which we can see it in here. And also this one is looking really cool. We had these curtains in these parts, but these are like railing the partitions things. And I think the final result is looking so cool. We can again change anything that we don't want about this render. So I'm going to download this image, full download. You can see the quality is really cool. And if you want to have a higher quality, you can go with upscaler. This option not only will give you higher scale, higher size, as you can see in here, but also it enhances your render, your overall view of this image. Okay, this option is also very helpful. I'm going to click on this full download, close this part. Let's go to AI tool section. In here we have this erase and replace. In this part I'm going to insert my image. After you load your image, in this part you can choose the action. We have this replace, remove, retouch, recolor, insert object, or retexture. For example, let's say we want to remove this part in here. In this part you can see some options. Auto selection, you can select different parts as you can see like this, or you can just manually select it. I'm going to increase its size, and then I will click on these parts like this. Okay, since I have selected this remove, I don't have any other option, so I'm going to just simply click on this generate. Okay, and in this part you will see some options for this image. For example, this is the one option, this is another one, and this is the third option. I don't really like the changes in this part, but it delete the pot, right? It is acceptable. If you want to change it with something else, you can use this insert option. This way you are going to insert another option, for example another pot, another image of any flower or anything you want. In this part you have to upload something to here. As you can see, I have used a tree for one of my exterior rendering, and I changed their placement. And you can do the same for this part too. For example, you can change this lighting in here, you can change one of these chairs, or you can change some texture. Also for texturing, you have to upload some textures in this part, and you can control the scale, and you can write something in this part to explain exactly what you want to see on your renders. I'm going to close this part and let's go to this AI tools section. There are also some other very interesting tools. For example, this outpainting, where you can expand your image, you can add different parts next to your main image, your main render. With this option, we have this region rendering, where for example, if you have created a realistic render with one of the rendering engines and you don't want to change every part, you just want to change a very small section, a very small area, you can use this region rendering. Then we have this video section for creating video based on the image. This part is also very exciting because you can import the image, the render you have created, and based on that you can export like animation. If you create different views of your project, you can import all of them into this part, and you can like create videos right to left, left to right, down view, these things, and you can create a full animation. In addition to all of these tools that we talked about, there are a lot of interesting options in here too. To use them, to check them, you can just simply use the link in description to log in, and then you can use the RVT Plus code to redeem 20 more coins and enjoy this platform. I really hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial, and I will see you next time.